Hi students, welcome to Positive Psychology class. In this session we study on frustration and conflict, motivation unit okay, so we look at that. So we all would have come across such situations sometimes. People, many a times, they feel irritated, so much of tension, and they feel aggressive, so much worries, confusion. This process, this situation, how do we feel, is called a frustration. The frustration, maybe it is higher or milder irkalam, medium irkalam. Everybody's in day-to-day life, we face frustration. Means feeling annoyed and disturbed. Okay. Now, this subject point of view paakalam. So, it subject says, say motives and needs are the basis for all the actions of human being. Any activities as a behavior depends on our motives. That's what we have introduced, right? So these motives and needs, in the தேவைகள் தான் நம்மளோட consequence of our behavior. Now this motives is always cannot be fulfilled. This process of motivation is not always run smoothly. Okay, so many a times we cannot reach out our purpose, which we are strongly driven or pulled. Okay, this causes frustration. Okay, so generally we would like to spend time with the friends, and we want to watch TV or many other things. We have to take a rest and free, and நிறைய things is become our motives. So then these motives, நம்ம என்ன நினைக்கிறோமோ நம்ம தேவைகள் block ஆகும் பொழுது we feel frustrated. So the motive is the base for this. Okay, so the motives, when hindered or blocked, we get frustration. Okay, so then, so this is a situation like many times we get more confused, we don't know what to do, and it's maybe in a mild problem or a severe problem, and depends on the situation. Okay, or if maybe in the college we have to study many things, and assignment, test, and நிறைய subject படிக்க வேண்டியிருக்கு. But in the படிக்கிறது, it's not a problem. The problem is we cannot get time for taking rest, or we cannot get time for spending time with the friends. மத்த இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் எல்லாம் பிளாக் ஆகிறதுனால தான் we feel frustrated. So once, suppose if you are interested in the subject studies, then you will not feel problem, you will find it as interesting. But our interest is when is something different, then those interests are blocked. Those needs or purpose are blocked, so that we get a frustration. So once we get this frustration and feel disturbed, then we feel less confidence in what we want to do. The studies liyo illa matta work la பண்ணும் பொழுது we may not focus onto this, we may not get interested, so we feel less confident. We cannot do that. So the feeling and being annoyed are less confident because you cannot achieve and what you want. So if you want to be focus on the subject, first develop your interest, develop your motives. Motives is the base. You should feel that your motive should be like, I want to get a good marks, I want to study much, I want to understand the subject. Adula oru periya interesting irukku, adukku oru periya value irukku, and the attitude, how much do you like and value what you are doing, then you will not find any frustration, right? So the frustration comes when our motives, our interests are blocked. Okay. So அடுத்ததா என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா, so what are the different sources of frustration in normal life? So these are the major sources we get frustrated. Okay, so the first one is environmental forces. So all surrounding situations, the context of our life. So their job issues are most problematic, like frustration for most of the people. So where we want to do many things at a time, so many works to do. The job nammalukku pidikala appadina, it get more frustrated, and management expects many things, and we cannot able to submit certain things on time, right? In the problems alla irukum poludhu we feel frustrated. So all environment around us, right? And the difficult people around us. Social life, people. So in a job, there would be a boss, other people working under you. For a boss, or a boss irukum poludhu, then you will worried about how to get the work from the people, how to understand, how to get support from the people. Idella vandu or periya or difficult irukum. It cannot be as expected. And as employees, the boss has become the problem. We have to submit paper or anything, any projects on the time, and we have to be answerable for any questions from the management. Idella vandu, when it not happens smoothly, we get frustrated. Social criticisms. We all many times society la irundhu enna nammala solla poranga, how do they talk about us, and how to manage our status. That's become highly frustration. Okay, so next one is personal inadequacies. Our personal life, our physical body and mental body. Personally, if you are weak, and then we feel many things, many problems. Suppose physically, if we are unhealthy, and then many things we want to do that we cannot do it. So from the morning, like you want to do so many things today, but body feel lazy, and if you feel sick, or you are not, body is not ready to do the work, then definitely we cannot do the work, and we get a frustration. In our mind, then really want to do that, but physical body is not supporting for it. Then you feel frustration. Then mental disturbance, mental disorders, like suppose mentally if you are unhealthy, issues, so much of tensions, worries, depressions, or even edavadhu oru disorders irundha kuda, then we cannot do as we expect. So these are called inadequacies, makes us frustration. So third point is conflict between motives. This is important one. We will see in the next slide. So motives, there are many motives. We want to do this and we want to do that. The confusion between this, ida panalama, ada panalama, idu sariya, adu thappa, what to do, what is right. So many a times this confusion. So that makes huge psychological thinking about it. Okay, so sometimes we cannot take a decision, and we do not know what to do. இப்படிங்கிற சிச்சுவேஷன் எல்லாம் வரும்பொழுது we feel a frustration. External conflict ஆவும் இருக்கலாம், or internal conflict ஆவும் இருக்கலாம். Okay, then economic deprivation, financial and economic conditions of our life. So that makes lot of problems. We buy everything by money. So when money has become most of the time, we have a problem. If we have got more money, we think that the other problem will be solved, because so we do many things on the measurement of money. Okay, so this economic deprivation, so that gives a frustration. Then social customs and restrictions. Societies said, what do they want to maintain our status, and what the society expect from us, and what we are going to do it, how to have a right relationship with the society, their customs, and rules and regulations. So these all, when it is disturbed, social life disturbance anale, when they will have more problems. The social disturbance only makes huge impact on our mental life. So when the mental life has got problem, then naturally our physical body also get into problem. Okay, so this is the social life have a frustration. Okay, so these are the sources of frustration. Then in the sources of frustration, we look at conflict. So in conflict means that the state of indecisiveness or tug of war between two or more courses of action or motives. Okay, so when you have two or more motives, தேவைகள் இருந்தால் இதுல எதை செலக்ஷன் பண்றது அப்படிங்கிறது it's become a big frustration. So this conflict causes most serious and deep-rooted frustration. See, like in this situation, see, we don't know whether to go this side or another side. Rendu pakkamme there are equal forces, then we face problem. And there are all people around us giving a lot of different informations, whom to believe and what is right and what is wrong. எதை ஃபாலோ பண்ணலாம் இப்படிங்கிற சிச்சுவேஷன் எல்லாம் ஃப்ரஸ்ட்ரேஷனா இருக்கும். Then dispute from between the people, between friends, between family members, parents, and companyல பாத்தீங்கன்னா how misunderstanding between the people. These all makes highly frustrated. So in the இதெல்லாமே வந்து it gives a conflict. So these external situations bring us an internal conflict. We start think about that, the conflict inside us, what is right and what is wrong. Okay, so and the internal conflict really drives you a deep-rooted frustration. Okay, then we see types of conflict. So here, so we can see there are 4 types of conflict. So it's there. Okay, this approach conflict. In this type of conflict, individual have 2 desires with positive valence, which both are equally powerful, right? And ரெண்டு பக்கமே வந்து இட்ஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். இந்த தேவையும் இருக்கு, அதே ஈக்குவலான இன்னொரு தேவை. ஸோ எதை செலக்ஷன் பண்ணலாம் அப்படிங்கிறது இட்ஸ் பிகம் ஏ கன்ஃபியூஷன் ஃபார் அஸ். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், a person has 2 attractive job offer and he has to choose any one of them. Then the tension rises, right? Equal irundal, then where to join? Okay, such conflicts are not so harmful because after selecting one, the other one automatically subsidizes or we loses its interest importance. Okay, but in some situation, the choice of what is the right one. Okay, it's not only the job case, many situations, like both are important, looks very interesting, and எதை choose பண்ணலாம் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு confusions, and we get problem இருக்கும் பொழுது this is called a approach conflict. அடுத்தது வந்து avoidance conflict. இதுக்கு ஆப்போசிட்டா வந்து இந்த கான்ஃபிளிக்ட்ல it involves 2 goals with negative balance. At times, the individual is forced to choose one among 2 negatives. goal, negative goals. So in such conflicts, both are unwanted goals. But he cannot keep quiet without opting also. ஏதாவது ஒன்று choose பண்ணிதான் ஆகணும். And for example, like a woman must work at a job which she dislikes very much. Or else she has to remain unemployed, to be in the house. So both the sides. Here the individual is caught between two repelling threads. Okay. So when she doesn't like the job போனாலும் ப்ராப்ளமா இருக்கு, and the situation context is very difficult. Quit பண்ணிட்டு, if you are in the home, then you have to depend on home people. So both the sides, you have to select any one out of it. So this type of conflict is avoidance conflict, but you have to get any one of this. Third type approach and avoidance conflict. So this is a little complex conflict and sometimes very difficult to resolve. So because in this type of conflict, a person is both attracted and repelled by the same goal object. Okay, here the positive valence attract the person, and as he approaches, the negative valence that repels him back. Okay, so for example, if you got a chance for going abroad or get a good job offer with a huge salary, so this is more attractive. We want to go to abroad and having more money and earn more money and good lifestyle. இதெல்லாம் positive approaches are இருந்தாலும், then the other side we have to take a risk. The job is risky, going out of country and leaving all our family here, and இதெல்லாம் பெரிய ரிஸ்கியா இருக்கும், and this is a life changing process. So in the difficulties irukku. So for one actions, there are positive things and negative things, disadvantage and the disadvantage. So the confusion between this, then it's called a approach and avoidance conflict. Okay. So then fourth one is called multiple approach and avoidance conflict. This is similar to approach and avoidance conflict. It involves both positive and negative valence in multiple nature. Right? நிறைய advantages இருக்கும் or disadvantages இருக்கும். So suppose a woman is engaged to be married. Okay. So the marriage is it's a positive one. So she become settled in the life. She get the right life and family life, and it is so secured. So that is the many advantages. It's a right one to get a right person on time. Either positive things. But at the same time, she has to change her personal situation. Maybe she has to quit her salary or the job she working, and this independency, and so freedom. See what she get in the parents' family, and many things. She has to go for a new family and a new life. She has to take a risk onto this. So it's a negative consequence. So many positive advantages of one side, and there are negative consequence in the other side. So this is called multiple approach avoidance conflict. So in these conflicts, so when it comes externally or internally, then when it is really sensitive issues, we feel more problem. What I have given here is just a simple example. In real life, many a times we get confused and sensitive, and it even it's a deep-rooted issues for many of the people, many people. Okay, so these are the different types of conflict. Okay, so next, the last one is called what we say common conflict resolutions. How to resolve when you get the conflict. Okay, even external conflict irukkalam illa internal conflict irukkalam. So external conflict இருந்தால் how to resolve the problems between two people. But this our internal conflict இருந்தால் how to understand our two different motives and how to solve it. Okay. So this is a step by step process of conflict resolutions. So here first step is to define problem in terms of positive and negative of the situations. Normally, if you have got confused, right, about all the advantages and disadvantages of what the conflict is, okay, then identify all possible actions. So adukku enna options irukku, right? So means evaluate options for solution, okay, and the options என்னெல்லாம் ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் இருக்கோ அது நம்மளோட எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷனுக்கு நம்மளோட சொல்யூஷனுக்கு வந்து எந்த அளவுக்கு எந்தெந்த ஆப்ஷன் எப்படி எந்த அளவுக்கு ஷூட் ஆகும் அப்படிங்கிறது தேர்ட் ஸ்டெப் ஆஃப் இட். ஃபோர்த் ஒன் இஸ் டிசைட் ஆன் அப்ரோப்ரியேட் சொல்யூஷன்ஸ். ஸோ சொல்யூஷன்ஸ் மேபி நிறைய கிடைக்கலாம். ஸோ அதுல எந்த சொல்யூஷன்ஸ் வி கேன் செலக்ட் நவ், வி கேன் ஸ்டார்ட் இம்ப்ளிமெண்டிங், அதை வந்து நம்ம ஒர்க் அவுட் பண்ணி பார்க்கலாம் அப்படிங்கிறது ஃபோர்த் ஸ்டெப். ஸோ once we selected a solution, then we have to implement that. Okay, implementation plan apply panni paakalam. So how does it work, whether and the confusion and the conflict sariyaguma illaya appadingiradha check panni paakanum. So once it is implemented, we'll have to check, evaluate effectiveness. Correct ah mudijadana conflict sariyaiduchu appadinal problem solved. Okay, so suppose if it doesn't solve, then this we have to think again. We have to go for it's like a cycle. So again, you have to define the problems and identify the options, select the right options, and implementing it till we get the right conflict resolved. Once it is resolved, we can talk about the experience, and the experience eppadi irundadhu think pannikalam. Okay, so this is called a resolution of conflict. Okay, so in the chapters are in frustration and conflict. If you have any doubts, write it down to my mail ID. Thank you.